Oh hey, didn't see you there. It's me, GBS Guitar Boy. You may remember me from the highly critically acclaimed and very extremely popular YouTube series Let's Play RuneScape. Well, we're back for another year. But this year, I tell you, things are going to be different. I may have mentioned in previous years that we are playing old school RuneScape, which is basically RuneScape gets a weekly update every week, and over the years evolves with time. And by the time we got to about 2013, 2015 or so, I forget exactly when, RuneScape enthusiasts who had maybe remembered the game from their childhood were noticing that things had changed to a point where the game was almost not recognizable to them. But Jagex wanted to continue making updates to that game and keep growing it. But they also wanted to bring people back if they wanted a wave of nostalgia. RuneScape should be a game they could get it from, so they found an old backup of the game from 2007 and relaunched it, and have been making edits to this version of the game ever since, and this is old school RuneScape, which we have been playing on this series. But you may or may not know that RuneScape goes back even far further than that, and in fact, in January, we'll be celebrating, if you can believe it, its 25th anniversary. Yes, on January 4th, 2001, RuneScape was launched, and it looked pretty much nothing like this. This is a new build of the game that the team built up from scratch in about 2004. But today, my friends, today, we are going back to a time before old school RuneScape, to the Dark Ages. Follow me in my time machine. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, 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 wow. We did it. We have landed in 2001. Yes, we are in the exact same place on the map we just were in the 2007 version of RuneScape. And look at these different textures. Welcome to the world of 2001 JavaScript browser gaming, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, this is how RuneScape looked for the better part of the first 3 years of its existence. It grew exponentially during those years. This is our full map that we have going for us in this game. We have all of Misthalen. We have all of Asgarnia. But that's literally about it. The game launches like this. And you'll immediately know, if you play RuneScape at all, that this is nothing like what the login screen looks like now. First of all, there are character types. There's no character class system in RuneScape as we know it today, but back in 2001, when the game was just getting started and they were sort of figuring out what they were, you had 5 classes you could choose from: Adventurer, Warrior, Wizard, Necromancer, and Ranger. So I believe this actually has no bearing on our gameplay going forward, except for that it's going to give us some bonus XP coming off the bat here. There's no tutorial island, nothing like that. We're just going to get plopped down. What do I want? Warrior seems to imply it would give me some combat skills. And I think that's one of the few things we're going to have to grind in this game. So I'm going to pick Warrior in hopes that I'm going to be a little bit stronger for it. Oh, I forgot to create my GBS Guitar Boy guy. Here we go. That's me. That's 1-for-1 identical. Except, wait, there we go. Green is good. Do we have like a tasteful sort of khaki yellowish color? This will do. This will do. And then take a look at this. Do you wish to be able to fight with other players? Warning, if you choose yes, then other players will be able to attack you too. There's no wilderness here. There's no place you can go for free open combat. Anyone can just fight you if you select yes. I think, to sort of replicate some of the original chaos that was in the quite different 2001 game from the way it is today, I'm going to turn fighting on. That means I could lose things like all of my items and stuff if I die in combat, for example. I will link in the description to a YouTuber I love who has made lots of videos about what RuneScape was like in 2001. He's made videos all about how the fighting system in 2001 RuneScape was chaotic. So for a little bit of historical accuracy, I'm going to turn fighting on. Realistically, I don't think this is going to have any actual bearing on gameplay. When I logged into this server, it said that there was one person active. The 2001Scape server is very, very dead. We may not even encounter another human being in the course of our entire adventure, and he might ruin our entire playthrough if we do. We're going to run that risk here by selecting yes, I'll fight. That's all we need. We hit start game, and by God, here we are. What else is different here? Let's take a look at our skills. There are some weird and wonky skills here that only existed for a few short months of the game. Yes, it appears I picked correctly on the loadout screen because we have been gifted a couple of levels and are starting out from level 3 attack, level 3 defense, level 3 strength, and level 12 hit points, which is the equivalent of modern day the Constitution stat, although it might still be hit points actually in old school. Ranged, of course. Thieving. Thieving here is listed on the skill chart, but I believe it is not actually in this game. Influence is quest points. Instead of quest points, you would actually gain experience and levels in a skill called Influence. The original plan was for there to be certain NPC functions that would be affected by your influence level, but it didn't really get that far. Again, in the RuneScape's first year, it underwent many changes, including a lot after this build of the game. We have prayer being split up into two completely separate skills here, prayer good and prayer evil. Again, I don't know if prayers are really a functional thing in this game. They had added the ability to level your prayer, but I think prayer, yeah, I'm not seeing it anywhere. I think the actual practice of using prayers in the game is still a future feature when this game is coming out. They're really literally still building the game. Magic, totally the same. It is split in two with good magic and evil magic, and this one's actually more fleshed out. Look, there's just a few. These are all the good magic spells you can cast, and these are all the evil magic spells you can cast. They had not built out the skill beyond level 14 because they really hadn't built enough content for you to require higher levels than that, which is good because it means we won't have to do quite so much like training in this playthrough and grinding and all that stuff. But yes, good magic and evil magic are two completely separate skills you can level, and we'll be doing a little bit of that, I hope. Cooking is normal. Tailoring, this is crafting. This is just their word for crafting. Wood cutting, same as normal, as is fire making, crafting, smithing, mining. Herb law, that is again not a quest that's actually in the game. Thieving and herb law are two quests that are listed here on your skills loadout screen, but have no actual function in the game as of May 8th, 2001. Here is our inventory. Okay, so our inventory, these 30 spots, you get 28 in modern RuneScape, but in this game they give you 30. They're going to become very important to us because these 30 spots are all we're ever going to get. There is no functional bank in the game as of May 8th, 2001. That's not quite true. There are banks, but you can only bank coins. The idea of banking any item you have into your personal bank does not exist in this game. So we are only able to carry what we can carry. We can't have too many tasks on the go at the same time because we don't have anywhere to put all the stuff. We're gonna have to be really creative with our use of these 30 spots. Right off the bat, I'm gonna equip these. And I know we're going to have to kill 1 million imps during our playthrough for the future imp catcher quest. So let's just get started here. Let's talk about my objectives for this series. As you know, I love questing on this channel. So on May 8th, 2001, there were already 15 different quests in the game that you could do. And I think that's going to be my goal. We're going to try to beat all 15 quests. Get back here, this stupid imp. I'm sure you can hear my dogs going crazy upstairs. Hold for dog. Hold for dog to calm down. I wouldn't be able to kill this imp at all if I weren't gifted those couple of levels at the beginning, but this is still quite a challenge. We're going to do them in no particular order. In fact, we're going to try to do them as efficiently as possible. I won't look through too many walkthroughs for that, but I've done these quests. I can do these quests in my sleep. These are not like really challenging quests. There are some we're going to have to gain a few levels for. But, yeah, these are the very, very super early game quests that had just been built into this game. Oh! RNG is on our side in this playthrough, everybody. We have killed one monster, and we have gotten our first quest item. The yellow bead is one of the 4 items we are going to need for Imp Catcher quest. And this is what I mean about completing these quests in any order we see fit. But yeah, that is our objective. We're going to try to complete all those quests, and we're going to start the first one right here by talking to our friend, the cook. What am I to do? You could give me all your money. I selected the wrong option. Ha ha, very funny. Okay, let's try that again. What am I to do? What's wrong? Oh dear, I'm in a terrible mess. It's the Duke's birthday today. I am meant to be making him a big cake for this evening, but unfortunately I've forgotten to buy some of the ingredients. I'll never get them in time now. I don't suppose you could help me. Yeah, sure, I'll help you. Oh, thank you. I need milk, eggs, and flour, and I'd be very grateful if you could get them to me. All right, we gotta go find him some eggs, milk, and flour. Yes, I am so excited to be doing the very first quest in the game, and perhaps one of the game's most legendary for its true noob status, and that is Cook's Assistant started. All right, well, immediately right off the bat, I remember we're going to need to take this pot and this jug just so we can hold some like water and items. Oh, there's no sink in the kitchen in this build of the game, so we're gonna have to find a water source elsewhere. Let's go wandering and let's talk about a little bit of the history of this game here. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to kill another imp. Pretty much I'm going to go by the rule that every single time I see one of these stupid, annoying imp monsters, I'm going to try to kill it until I get the 4 beads that I'm going to need in what is called in this version of the game Imp Slayer quest. Imp Catcher, Imp Slayer. I don't even know what it's called. They had some wonky names early on in the build of this game. This game that I'm playing right now, 2001Scape, if I'm being totally honest with you, this is not an official Jagex release. This is a private server. This is made by the OpenRSC private server, RuneScape Classic private server community that has created this truly unique version of the game, created from the earliest known archive of the game. Or I don't even know if that's true, or if they painstakingly recreated it, or how they made the game. If anyone knows, let me know in the comments, but it's fascinating. We have a ball of wool. That'll make the sheep shearer quest about 6 seconds faster for us than it would have been otherwise. We're going to need 20 of those. Now we need 19. But again, we can't collect items too hard. We've already used up 6 slots. Anyway, Jagex continued to build up this game, the Gower brothers, and the additional staff that they continued to hire throughout as RuneScape gained more popularity and more complexity. And over the course of the first 3 years of the game's history, it had exploded. The world map was now this size. There's 15 quests in this version of the game. By the end of 2003, there were 50. They had really fleshed out this project, but they wanted to go further with it. Already, these really crappy, clunky graphics were starting to look outdated. They knew they could do more, and basically they rebuilt the game from the ground up to what became known as RuneScape 2. It was launched in early 2004, and the rest is history. That's the game engine we have been playing on. It's one people have a lot of nostalgia for, from ye olden days when RuneScape had a banner ad on Newgrounds, and so many people took up the game. That's what, again, they chose to build old school RuneScape from. But yeah, we are playing in the original game engine on, yes, again, like I said, one of the earliest builds of the game from when it had only been alive around 4 months. We've just collected the egg. We need now to bring the cook a bucket of milk and a pot of flour. We're going to need a bucket. Oh wait, I have no coins. I just realized I cannot buy a bucket if I have 0 coins. Are there bucket drops? How I get some coins then? Well, that's a truly noob feeling. There's an item that costs 2 GP. And I am too poor to afford it. What I can do for now is get into this wheat field, this low poly wheat field we have here, and pick some wheat for this part of the quest. We're going to need a bucket of flour. This quest pretty much exists to teach you the very basics of Lumbridge and the game itself, and little things you can do to create other stuff. And this is trying to teach you that you can walk over to the mill to mill flour from grain. We take our grain, We put it in the hopper here. We pull the controls. It slides down the chute, and we go and collect it. This is why we expertly grabbed a pot from the kitchen, so we could remember to use it with the flour. And now we have a pot of flour. That's 2 of the things the cook needs. We now just need to find a way to earn 2 GP and source ourselves a bucket for the milk we need to obtain. You know what? Actually, since we're being Mr. Efficiency here, let's go right across the street and start yet another quest. Sheep shearer. To do that, we just talked to Fred here. What are you doing on my land? You're not the one who keeps leaving all my gates open and letting out all my sheep. I'm looking for a quest. You're after a quest, you say? Actually, I could do with a little bit of help. My sheep are getting mighty woolly. If you could shear them, and while you're at it, spin the wool for me too? Yes, that's it. Bring me 20 balls of wool, and I'm sure I could sort out some sort of payment. Of course, there's the small matter of the thing. Then I could use this payment for affording things like bucket. Well, that doesn't sound like a very exciting quest, though. Well, what do you expect if you ask a farmer for a quest? Are you going to help me or not? Yes, okay, I can do that. Okay, I'll see you when you have some wool. So that's it. Wait a second. I thought he would have shears here. Now there's 2 items I need that I can't afford. I have to find 3 entire coins somewhere. Ooh, how resourceful of me. I looked at my mini map, saw a little red dot of an item. I didn't know there was a little iron dagger spawn in this room here. That's got to be worth at least 3 coins. Let's show you the 2001Scape store interface, the RuneScape Classic store interface here. It's a little bit more confusing than what we're used to. Yeah, so down here are my things. Up here are their things. If I own any of them, it shows my number in blue. If they own any of them, it shows that number in green. You'll get used to it after a while. Let's see if I can sell this sword. 14 GP. You know, honestly, I might want to keep this because it's probably better than my, what is this? Oh, it's a bronze sword. Probably about the same. I'm going to sell it. My first coins on this account, I now have 14 entire coins, and I am going to invest in some hefty quest items. Shears, 1 GP. Bucket, 2 GP. And we may now continue with our questage. Alright, I think we just use bucket on cow in this version of the game. Yes, instead of having any actual animations, it just shows what we're thinking about doing over our heads, and that's what we do. We sort of manifested a bucket of milk into existence, and now we have all 3 of our quest items for Cook's Assistant. Alright, we are back in the Lumbridge kitchen. How are you getting on with finding the ingredients? I now have everything you need for your cake. Milk, flour, and an egg. I am saved, thank you. You give some milk, egg, and a flour to the cook, and I complete the quest there. We've done an entire quest playthrough. Cook's Assistant is now done, and I have advanced 3 cooking levels. Look at that. Cooking level 4. We have helped the cook, and we are 1/15 of our way through our journey. When we go back several years of updates into this old game, we don't only go back to before a lot of content was released, we also go back to before a lot of quality of life type upgrades. So every little task in the original version of what was RuneScape in 2001 is so tedious. In order to shear a sheep, you have to go back into your inventory, select the shears, find the sheep. Maybe sometimes it's run away from you, click on the sheep, and then for some reason, every single feature of every single skill has like these atrocious fail rates. So you just have to keep clicking over and over. There's no automated process on things. Now, I know this doesn't exist for shearing sheep, but at least for shearing sheep, they would have a right-click option of shear, which they do not have. They only have talk. Why is there a talk to option? Hello? The sheep does not appear interested in talking. But yeah, we're just about at 20 of these. I actually, for the first time, had to think about, oh wait, I might have too many things in my inventory to keep collecting 20 wool, but I think we're just going to make it. We're going to finish collecting these 20 and head up to the top of Lumbridge Castle to the spinning wheel up there. All right, we've made it up here to the roof to do yet another annoying click-intensive process of turning the wool into ball of wool. It's worth noting that in this early build of the game, upper floors of buildings are just isolated in darkness. They did not render out the world below, so it's just kind of lonely in here. How are you doing finding those balls of wool? I have him. Give him here, then. I'm giving him, one by one, giving him every single ball of wool in my inventory. This is going to take a while. Anybody out there seen any good movies? While he slowly takes all of these, I'm going to tell you about this item I found. This is a potion. I killed an imp and he dropped potion. I had never seen anything like it. I'd never seen just an unlabeled, vague potion. It has no items. I had to look it up. It's just a random junk item that was put in the game for no reason as an enemy drop. And it was eventually patched out of the game entirely. So, okay. That's an item I never knew existed. That's all of them. Well, I guess I better pay you then. There we go. He hands me some coins. I complete the sheep shearer quest, and I advance 1 crafting level. We are 2 down, 13 to go. Oh, 89 coins. He actually gave me like, 50 GP he gave me? Sick. And I thought of one more quest here that I can start from right here in Lumbridge. Although this one, I think, involves a slight bit more adventuring around. We are going to do, what's it called? Ghost Quest, aka Restless Ghost. Welcome to the Church of Holy Saradomin. Who's Saradomin? Surely you have heard of the god Saradomin, he who creates the forces of goodness and purity in this world. I cannot believe your ignorance. This is the god with more followers than any other, at least in these parts. He who, along with his brothers Guthix and Zamorak, created this world. There's some of the original world-building lore from you put into the game when it was first released, January 4th, 2001. Oh, that's Saradomin. There is only one Saradomin. Let's try that one again here. I'm looking for a quest. That's lucky I need someone to do a quest for me. Okay, I'll help. Okay, the problem is there is a ghost in the church graveyard. I would like you to get rid of it. If you need any help, my friend Father Ernie is an expert on ghosts. I believe he is currently living as a hermit. He has a little shack somewhere in the swamp south of here. I'm sure if you told him that I sent you, he'd be willing to help. My name is Father Eric, by the way. Be careful going through the swamps. I've heard they can be quite dangerous. All right, we're making a trip into Lumbridge Swamp to talk to Father Ernie. What? First of all, there's just a ghost hanging out here. Second of all, where's the swamp? The swamp is here. I need to go in there. The gate is closed. There is no access to swamp. Do I have to go around? Oh, for some reason in this early game, you have to go the long way around the castle and all the way out into the forest to get around this fence. Eventually, they just opened up the gate there. I also have to be more careful in this build of the game because if you enter combat with any enemy, I don't think these goblins are anything to worry about, but if you enter combat with any enemy at any point during this game, you could not retreat for 3 turns each. You had to sit through your 3 turns each, and you cannot retreat. So if something much higher level attacks you out of the blue, it's much harder to evade because you have to sit there and endure 3 rounds of combat. So gotta be a little careful. Where the heck is his hut? I completely don't remember. All right, it's in the very far corner here because of course it is. Let's have a talk with Father Ernie about the ghost situation. Go away, I'm meditating. Father Eric sent me to talk to you. I suppose I better talk to you then. What problems has he got himself into this time? Well, he's got a ghost haunting his graveyard. That silly fool. I leave town for just 5 minutes and already he can't manage. Well, I can't go back and exercise it. I vowed not to leave this place until I had done a full 2 years of prayer and meditation. Tell you what I can do, though. Take this amulet. He hands me an amulet. It is an amulet of ghost speak, so called because when you wear it, you can speak to ghosts. A lot of ghosts are doomed to be ghosts because they have left some task uncompleted. Maybe if you know what this task is, you can get rid of the ghost. I'm not making any guarantees, mind you, but it is the best I can do right now. Thank you. I will give it a try. So we've got our Amulet of Ghost Speak, another equipable item to add to our repertoire. And look at this. This is our new loadout with our beautiful new amulet. This will allow us to go back and talk to that ghost we saw earlier. Hello, ghost. How are you? Not very good, actually. What's the problem, then? Did you just understand what I said? Wow, this amulet works. Oh, it's your amulet that's doing it. I did wonder. Well, I don't suppose you can help me. I don't like being a ghost very much. Yes, okay. Do you know why you're a ghost? No, I just know I can't do anything much like this. Well, I've been told a certain task may need to be completed so you can rest in peace. Well, I should think it's probably because a warlock has come along and stolen my skull. If you look inside my coffin there, you'll find my corpse without a head on it. Do you know where this warlock may be now? I think it was one of the warlocks who lives in the big tower in the sea southwest of here. Okay, I will try to get the skull back for you so you can rest in peace. Woo, thank you. That would be such a great relief. It is so dull being a ghost. Okay, the ghost is bored as hell, and we must relieve him of his whole purgatory situation, which involves walking all the way to the wizard's tower. In this early version of the game, instead of being straight, the pier to the wizard's tower does this weird zigzag. That's fun, I guess. You know what? While we're here, I guess we might as well do the starting dialogue for the Imp Catcher quest that we got this one bead for earlier, and we'll continue to work on just every time we see an imp for the time being, because it's famously annoying. The beads are not high enough on the drop table in this quest, and this quest was eventually, it's like not even in the current game anymore because it's so tedious. And then also we are looking for the ghost's skull, which is, I believe, downstairs somewhere. Actually, yeah, let's go down into the cellar and see if we can't find that skull of his. I seem to recall this is going to be our first time dealing with a quest enemy. There it is. Skull. Okay, we gotta get this, and we gotta withstand 3 rounds of combat, I believe. Out of nowhere, a skeleton appears. We are under attack. We're fine. This is really no big deal. Alright, now we can retreat. That was easy. Now we have a legitimate entire human skull in our inventory. Let's get out of here, and let's find Misgog beads. Which one is Treyborn?
Hello, young thingummy-what.
What's a thingummy-what?
A thingummy-what? Where? Those pesky thingummy-whats. They get everywhere. They leave a terrible mess, too.
You just called me a thingummy-what.
You're a thingummy-what? I've never seen one up close before. They said I was mad.
Now you are my proof. There are thingummy-whats in this tower. Now where can I find a cage big enough to keep you? I'd better be off, really. Oh, well, okay, have a good time. That was a pointless dialogue. Watch out for sheep. They're more cunning than they look. Okay. Okay, here's Bead Boy.
Hello there.
Give me a quest. I demand it.
Give me a quest, what?
Give me a quest, please.
Well, seeing as you asked nicely, I could do with some help. The wizard Gorazak next door decided he didn't like me,
so he cast a spell of summoning, and summoned hundreds of little imps. Those imps stole all sorts of things. Most of these things I don't really care about. They're just eggs and balls of stringing things. But they stole my 4 magical beads. There was a red one, a yellow one, a black one, and a white one. Those imps have now spread out all over the kingdom. Can you please give my beads back for me? I will try. It's hard to inject much comedy into these quests. They're just so gosh darn basic. You know what I've been thinking? While we're in the drainer area here, maybe we should tackle another more complex quest here that is located all within this area. And again, I'm going for efficiency today. So let's take a look at one of early RuneScape's more peculiar quests. Ernest the Chicken. For that, we're going to have to go up past this community of Draenor Village here to Draenor Manor. Ooh, yes, very spooky. Wait, where's the girl I'm supposed to talk to? I thought she was right at the gate here. Here she is. No, that's a goblin. Oh, here she is. I just gotta waltz on in here. Talk to Veronica. Can you please help me? I'm in a terrible spot of trouble. Aha, sounds like a quest. I'll help. Yes, I suppose it is a quest. My fiancé Ernest and I came upon this house here. Seeing as we're a little lost, Ernest decided to go in and ask for directions, but that was an hour ago, and this house looks very spooky. Can you go in and see if you can find him for me? Okay, I will see what I can do. Thank you. I'm very grateful. We really are juggling a lot of quests at the same time now at this point in our playthrough. Into the mansion we go. I believe we have to go upstairs in this creepy old place. A couple of ghosts, but yet this is not the same guy we saved last time. These are different ghosts. And I immediately forget how to get to the top floor. There's the ladder. I walked all the way around here for no good reason. Alright, here we go. We are up. Look at this clunky old thing. I wonder what it's supposed to do. Hey, man, I'm looking for a guy called Ernest. Ah, Ernest, top-notch bloke. He's helping me with my experiments. Oh, so you know where he is then? Oh, well, he's this chicken over here. What? Ernest is a chicken? Are you sure? Oh, he isn't normally a chicken, or at least he wasn't, until he helped me test my poulet morph machine. It was originally going to be called a transmutation machine, but after testing, poulet morph seems more appropriate. I'm glad Veronica didn't actually get engaged to a chicken. Change him back this instant. It's not so easy, actually. My machine is broken, you see, and the house gremlins, yeah, they've run off with some vital bits. Well, I could look out for them. That would be a help. They'll be somewhere in the manor or its grounds. The gremlins never go further than the entrance gate. I'm missing a pressure gauge, a rubber tube. They've also taken my oil can, which I'm going to need to get this thing started again. All right. Guess what? It's another item gathering quest. Yes, I've done this quest a few times through the years. There's one of the items we need, fish food. That's not directly one of the items we need, but it's going to come in handy. We've just got to wander around the castle grounds and see what we can find. There's a couple of tricks I think I can remember from childhood. Let's grab the fish food here. We are going to need that. Here downstairs is a rubber tube that I will also need, but the door is locked. I need to find the key somewhere. Oh, right. That's, I think, to do with the fish food I just found. All right, and in this room we find some poison, which, again, is for use with the fish food. That's actually something we're going to do right now. We got to poison our fish food, and now we have poisoned fish food. Yes, we are going to do our first act of atrocity in this video series. Gonna go poison some fishes. Okay, I'm really glad the spade drop is still here. I was wondering about that. Oh, I could have picked up shears. And look, these are the two items I was saving up for earlier. We've just found them in here. Random that it's those two exact items. I don't think... Oh, I should go back in, actually. Ah, dang it. It closed behind me. Actually, I'm just thinking if they put a bucket there, I think it's because I am going to shortly need it. So basically what we have to do here is we have to, let's take a look at this fountain here. It says there seems to be a pressure gauge in here, but there are a lot of piranhas in here though, and I can't get the gauge out. So that's exactly what we needed to do. Combine those two items to create poisoned fish food, and we gotta poison those fish. I pour the fish food into the fountain, the piranhas eat the food, the piranhas drop dead and float to the surface. And then, let me see if I can take out the pressure gauge. There are also some dead fish. And I get the pressure gauge. Okay, that's one of the items acquired. Yes, what I have to do here is use my spade to dig into this compost heap. And then I will find a key. Yes, okay, and this key will open the door from earlier. This key will work on this door. And then I will take the tube. All right, perfect. Now I have the rubber tube and the pressure gauge. All I need is the oil can, but that is going to be a tiny bit more challenging than meets the eye. How is this door locked? Oh, right, my key. Wait, so if you drop this key, if I drop this key, there are certain quirks like that in this game. If I drop my key while I'm in that room, I think I would just, like, soft lock my account. I think I would not be able to escape that room ever again. Alright, so for this part of the quest, for the first time, I am going to be using a little bit of a walkthrough here, because there are some rather complex directions to go through for this puzzle. How people manage to figure out how to do this around the time of release, they must have been geniuses. There's a lot of steps, but for time, for my sake, I'm just gonna go through these real fast. I know you gotta go into the dungeon here. I have reached 4 frames per second. Excellent. I have too many windows open at once, and I'm trying to record the video. Look at the lighting. This game wants to crash. Okay, I have gone through all those complicated steps, opened a complicated series of doors, made it into this room, and I've grabbed the oil can. Sorry to skip all of that, but it was, like, real boring. Have you found anything yet? I have everything. Give him here, then. I give him a rubber tube, a pressure gauge, and a can of oil. See, you had the ability to script giving multiple items at once the whole time. Eisenstein starts up the machine. It hums and shakes. Suddenly a ray shoots out of the machine at the chicken. Oh, it was dreadfully irritating being a chicken. How can I ever thank you? Well, a cash reward is always nice. Of course, of course. Ernest hands you 300 coins? That's more than I remember. I have completed the machine quest, aka Ernest the Chicken, and got 3 influence levels. Those are our first influence levels, what would come to be known as quest points, and we're like rich now. 389 GP just from adventuring profit. I tell you what, let's go finish up some loose ends over at the Restless Ghost quest, and then let's see if they give us even more riches. Ugh, I'm gonna really have to get used to this walking thing. There is no run energy in RuneScape Classic. Hello, Ghost. How are you? How are you doing finding my skull? I have found it. Alright, now I can stop being a ghost. You just need to put it in my coffin over there and I will be free. Sounds good. Alright, use skull with coffin. Nothing interesting happens because I literally didn't open it first. Here we go. I put the skull in the coffin. Oh, the ghost has vanished. You think you hear a faint voice in the air. Thank you. Alright, completed the ghost quest, and I have advanced 5 Pray Good levels. I now have level 6 Pray Good, but only level 1 Pray Evil. There is absolutely no function, like I said, to either of the prayer skills in this game, but we have some levels for show. That is good. Alright, we've almost come to the conclusion of part 1 here. Completed a few quests, got one more in progress, but before this is done, I think I want to head up to the big city of Varrock. We've only been hanging out in like Lumbridge and Draenor so far. Let's go up into the big city and see if we can't use some of our enormous wealth of 389 GP to maybe upgrade our sword or shield or something. I mean, we have a wooden shield and a bronze short sword, so certainly we can afford something better. Ah, the big city, the capital city of Mist Hallen, Varrock itself. Finally, a town where I can sit back and relax and enjoy a nice beer. Hey, barkeep, can you recommend anywhere an adventurer might find his fortune? Ooh, I don't know if I should be giving away information. Makes the computer game too easy. Computer game? What are you talking about? This world around us, it's all a computer game. It's called RuneScape. No, I still don't understand what you're talking about. What's a computer? It's a sort of magic box thing, which can do all sorts of different things. I give up. You're obviously completely mad. I've always liked that little detail. This one bartender in the pub here in Varrock, he's the only one in the entire game, to this day, the only one who is aware that he is inside of a video game. Alright, first beer on account consumed. Lowers my attack by 1, but gives me 2 additional strength levels. Let's take a look in here. They sell swords. Surely they will have something better than this bronze sword I am wielding here. Let's look at long swords. Iron longsword is 140. Steel is 500, and I think I can only wield up to an iron longsword with my current levels anyway. So we are going to be upgrading to the iron longsword. Let's absolutely go. We're going to sell this measly bronze short sword for 15 GP. And we have 262 GP left to our name to see if we can find anything else we want to buy. Ooh, nice sword. You know, I think there's an armorist up here, but I think his prices will be a touch too high. Let's go see. What does he have? Bronze plate mail body for 160. Yeah, I guess that's my best bet. Okay, we now have a slightly upgraded gear rig. We have bronze plate body. We have that's still just our wooden sword, but we have a an iron longsword, so we'll be at least able to do slight damage, although actually having to fight enemies has not really come up for us yet. While we're in the Varrock city square here, why don't we start one more quest that we're going to do in this first episode of this series. We're going to talk to this lovelorn stranger, Romeo, here in the center of town. Juliet, 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 wherefore art thou? Kind friend, have you seen Juliet? Her and her father seem to have disappeared. Can I help find her for you? Oh, would you? That would be wonderful. Please tell her I long to be with her. Yes, I will tell you how you feel. You are the savior of my heart, thank you. Yes, okay, that's nice. Okay, so this appears to be before they wrote all of the jokes. They wrote a bunch of jokes for Romeo to be a bumbling idiot, but seems like at this time in history, they're playing it pretty straight. Ooh, we are here at the bank. Let me show you the primitive state that banks are in here in 2001Scape. I'd like to access my bank account, please. Certainly, sir. But let me show you here. Yeah, I assume I have no coins. You have 0 GP. Yeah, I can only deposit coins. I'm going to hold on to these for now. Banks have very little function in this game. Like I said, we're going to be focusing mainly on our inventory here. We have traveled across town to the home of beautiful Juliet here. Juliet, I come from Romeo. He begs me to tell you he cares still. Please, take this message to him. Certainly, I will deliver your message straight away. It may be our only hope. Romeo, I have a message from Juliet. Tragic news. Her father is opposing our marriage. If her father sees me, he will kill me. I dare not go near his lands. She says Father Lawrence can help us. Please find him for me. Tell him of our plight. If I recall correctly, he is just a priest who is over here in the Sarah Dominus Church here in Varrock. Second time we've had to talk to one of these priests in order to complete a quest. Romeo sent me. He says you can help. Ah, Romeo, yes, a fine lad, but a little bit confused. Juliet must be rescued from her father's control. I know just the thing, a potion to make her appear dead. Then Romeo can collect her from the crypt. Go to the apothecary. You're going to need some cadaver potion. I kind of paraphrased that because their text moves way too fast in this original game for me to read. But long story short, I need a cadaver berry potion. Ooh, another imp to attack. For that, I'm going to need some special berries that are just to the south of town here. Going to go pick some quickly. Wait a second. Wow. This is totally fascinating to me. Look at all of these houses on the other side of this fence. I've looked at the old 2001 RuneScape map before, and I've seen this plot labeled Player-Owned Houses, Future. Basically, the idea was that at some point they would release player-owned houses where you could actually own property on the RuneScape map itself. Obviously, this gate is not open. Oh, if you examine it, it says, coming soon, player-owned houses. I didn't realize that what were originally going to be the houses, this is going to be the estate agent's house. Wow, I didn't realize they'd actually built the physical buildings into the game overworld itself. That is absolutely amazing. This gate never did open to these player houses. The game expanded far too quickly for them to be able to actually realize the concept of giving, like, players an actual house on the RuneScape map itself. And player-owned houses wouldn't come into the game until several years later when they were able to be instanced into their own sort of private server area. Alright, got our cadaver berries. And now we're over here at the apothecary store in Western Varrock. Apothecary, Father Lawrence sent me. I need some cadaver potion to help Romeo and Juliet. Cadaver potion? It's pretty nasty and hard to make. Wing of rat, tail of frog, ear and snake, horn of dog. I have all that, but I need cadaver berries. You'll have to find them while I get the rest ready. Bring them here when you have them, but be careful. They're nasty. Well, good thing I already went and grabbed some here. Well done, you have the berries. I handed over the berries. And here's what you need. Alright, he gives me a cadaver potion. It was just that easy. This is a more useful potion than this pointless potion from earlier that I'm just going to drop onto the ground. Yeah, I got distracted and went on a little side quest here to Barbarian Village in order to try to source a helmet. Let's see what he's got in the 100 GP range here. I think I have 102 GP. I don't quite have enough for a large iron helmet, so I have to choose between an iron medium helmet and a large bronze helmet. I don't actually know which one has higher stats, but the medium iron helmet is tempting to me just because I believe they have the same like wearing animation or a wearing. I don't know what the right word for that is. They look the same when equipped as a full helm. They actually don't. So people can tell I'm wearing a crappy helmet. Dang it. Yeah, this is not a great helmet, but you know what it's better than? Nothing. Look at my hair clipping through the back of this helmet. That is embarrassing. I have a potion from Father Lawrence. It should make you seem dead and get you away from this place. Wonderful. I just hope Romeo can remember to get me from the crypt. Many thanks, kind friend. Please go to Romeo. Make sure he understands. He can be a bit dense sometimes. Romeo, it's all set. Juliet has the potion. Ah, right. What potion would that be then? The one to get her to the crypt. All right. So she's dead then. Oh, that's a shame. Thanks for your help anyway. And I've completed the quest. All right, so he's still a complete idiot in this version of the quest too. Literally the only thing I get out of that is 5 influence levels, which is not, again, a functional skill in this version of the game. But that is, I think, where I am going to leave you for this first episode of Let's Play 2001Scape. We have now completed 5 of the original 15 quests. And we have one on the go here, the Imp Catcher quest. So it looks like we're more than a third of the way through, but I know they get a little bit more complicated from here. I'm going to need to do a little more training before I can sort of tackle quests that are a little more complex, like Demon Slayer here, or Vampire Slayer. Anything with Slayer in the name is going to be a problem, fighting enemies and stuff, but yeah, there's a lot of quests that, yeah, there's still some pretty straightforward ones in here, including Goblin Diplomacy, which we actually, that was the first quest we ever did on the first season of Let's Play RuneScape 2 years ago. But yeah, we're going to take a look at a few of these next time on Let's Play 2001Scape. I was going to use that as a title, but someone else has already made a series called Let's Play 2001Scape, so I thought I'd let them keep that. Although I'm sure someone's made a Let's Play RuneScape in the past as well. But yes, thank you for watching. In this first episode, we accomplished 5 different quests. We did Cook's Assistant, Restless Ghost, Romeo and Juliet, Sheep Shearer, Ernest the Chicken, Imp Catcher is started. We have the same attack, defense, strength, and hit points level we started with. Haven't made any progress in terms of that. We have level 9 influence, level 6 pray good, level 4 cooking, a whopping level 2 crafting. Wait, I said tailoring was crafting. Oh, I had said earlier that tailoring was just crafting, but those are separate skills. I guess tailoring is just a facet of crafting that was eventually folded into that skill. Anyway, and we have some actual armor equipment stats now because we have our iron mid-helm, our iron longsword, and our bronze plate body. Very low level armor and weapons, but better than the nothing we started with. A whopping 18 GP and a whopping probably 8 views or so on this video, but I still enjoy making them. They're a lot of fun. At some later date during Video Every Day in September, I'm going to get back to this series. And speaking of Video Every Day in September, as I try to get my camera focused here, there we go. Speaking of Video Every Day in September, there are 7 of us making a video every single day this month, although I'm a couple days behind at this point, I think, unless I perform some miracle in the editing bay in the next couple days after filming this. But thank you, everybody, so much for watching. This is a series I'm so excited to get back into. I've linked to the channels of my other wonderful fellow VEDSies in the description, and I will catch y'all tomorrow and every day for the rest of this month with some sort of video and another one in this series at some point later this month. Thank you, and goodbye.